Hey, welcome. I know it's been a little while since we've done an episode, but we are back here at Bridging Cultures, Building Businesses, here with the Greater Quad Cities Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I am the Executive Director, Jesse Noriega. Today, I have somebody else on set here with me. He will be hosting some of these episodes coming up, but I wanted to take a moment and some time today. Instead of interviewing somebody, we're kind of going to just have a conversation and interview him. His name is Marlon Ganaway, and we'll let you know about our relationship and our friendship as we go, but we want to let everyone else kind of know a little bit more about him. So, Marlon, thank you for being here with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Jesse.
So, yeah, as like we know, we go back to grade school and Hoffman. For the people that know what Hoffman is, the younger generation has no clue because it's not even open. But we go back and a lot of East Moline people, just like Moline and Rock Island and everything, we kind of stay strong and tight-knit in our communities, and you went away for a while, so you kind of went silent, and I didn't see where you went and what all you did, but I am kind of curious, and I'm sure everybody else is kind of what was the cause of your leaving, and then your involvement, and now you came back, and you're this business guy, and you got all sorts of properties and all these great things going for you, and it's like, whoa, we were just little snotty-nosed kids running around when and now you came back, you're quite successful, and you're doing some good things. So thank you for being here. But yeah, let us know a little bit more.
Well, I graduated from UT in 93. After that, I went to Loras College and played football. And when I came back from Loras, stayed in Rock Island for a little bit. And my sister ended up moving to Atlanta. There wasn't a lot of opportunities here in the Quad Cities for me at that time, just working a manufacturing type job. So being able to move to a bigger city that had more opportunities was a thing for me. So when she got down there and got settled in, I just followed her life behind her. So I actually moved to Atlanta in the spring of 1996, right before the Olympics took place. And I stayed down there, did pretty well, bought a house, lived life, lived a couple other places. Didn't ever really want to come back to the Quad Cities because I'm not really a small town guy, I guess. I'm more comfortable in a bigger city personally. But I ended up coming back here in the summer of 2018 because my grandfather took sick and my family owned a good deal of real estate in the Rock Island area. So my aunt had been taking care of it. So wanted to come back to kind of take some of the burden off of her and my family. So I came back here to help my grandfather with his properties and just ended up staying.
Okay, nice. Well, yeah, it's not quite the big city. Population-wise, it's kind of catching up there.
For sure. And, shout out to the Quad Cities. But we definitely have some flavor.
We don't have the central hub. Like if we were one big city, obviously we'd probably have a much larger downtown and whatnot, it being spread out the way it is.
For sure.
It's a different feel, almost, from hopping place to place. It's a different feel. But, yeah, population-wise, even though some people say it's small, you can definitely have people that have been in the Quad Cities also their whole life, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that person.
Sure enough.
And then there's another group of people that everybody knows everybody. But
that's the truth.
But
I used to say that to my friends all the time, like, have you talked to such and such? And they're like, no. I'm like, you guys live in the Quad City. How do you not bump into somebody in the Quad City? But and now that I'm here is definitely a true statement.
Yeah, things have definitely spread out, and the growth has been probably quite different from when you were here, and then even since you've been here, things have really taken off. And this last year has been, we just got approved for the railway system from here to Chicago, which is really going to change all the Quad Cities, I think, and create some good opportunities. Hopefully, as a chamber, we can really help a lot of businesses, whether they're coming into Chicago or wanting to spread some of their business out to Chicago. We can kind of help get their footing on that and create some good things.
Definitely.
But what are some of the things you did in Atlanta that kind of helped prepare you for coming back here and helping with the real estate and so forth?
Well, I started in sales. I worked at a small telemarketing company initially. And then after that, I became a sales manager at MCI. Started off as a sales representative, just worked my way up to being a sales manager. So, pounding that telephone, and anybody who knows anything about sales know that hard telephone call, trying to get people to switch from Sprint, which was 10 cents at the time, to MCI, or AT&T. It's definitely a harder sell. So after that, I ended up getting my license, and I worked as a broker, a commodities broker. I got my Series 3 license. So it went from being, I guess, a mid-range hard sell, trying to get somebody to switch their long distance carrier, to a completely hard sell, trying to get somebody to invest $5,000 to $10,000, $20,000 in a high risk vehicle. So sales definitely was already for me kind of a natural thing. And I got involved with some things with the trading where I was able to get in tune with people that were at a higher level, a harder sell, more more volatile. So I took those skills and just got involved in real estate when I got back here.
Okay, well, and you kind of touched on some things there, and you and I have talked about it. I mean, typically we have this conversation sitting at the house having a drink, whether it's your house or mine, and just
Sure.
relaxing and being maybe a cigar even. At least me.
For sure.
But you touched on something though that we both talked about, and it's very important. I don't think it's touched on enough as young men, and actually even us older men, is mentorship. You
Yes.
said you ran into some higher level people that showed you something. How important was mentorship to you to actually be able to be successful in the past that you went through?
It's pivotal. It was foundational for me. I think the difference between having a mentor and not having a mentor is like being a guy who can play basketball, but only good at the park. To be able to play under the lights, under the whistle, you need to have training. So there are a lot of people that may can sell, may have, skills in whatever area, but without that mentorship, it's kind of hard to go to the mainstream with it. And for me, it was the pathway for me becoming more successful because you were not only introduced to a different set of people through your mentor, but you were given different strategies to look at the same type of problem with a different light for somebody who had been, already down that road already.
Yeah, definitely good. And I know I've I think everybody has had their failures,
For sure.
and a good mentor sometimes will even let you have those failures. They'll be like, well, it's not going to hurt them. Let's let them have it, and
Definitely.
so they can know what they need to learn from that. And I
It's a
think
part of
that's
the game.
yes, and that's a big thing, and I think that's good. But I don't see a lot of our young businesses and young aspiring business owners, male or female, but especially young men, I say that in the sense that they don't feel like they have as many support groups. There's a lot of great organizations out there for young women, Lead Her and Glow and all these beautiful organizations, but there's really not too much for these young men to go to. And I think the unfortunate thing is us men sometimes get too prideful to say, hey, Marlon, I need some help.
Sure.
What would your call to action for young men or even men our age that are sometimes just struggling and need that help, whether it's a mentor or just a good conversation?
Well, there are some groups here like SCORE, which I was introduced to by being a member of the Spanish Chamber of Commerce. The SCORE is one of them. The also SBDC is a good group to organization that can help out as far as business is concerned. But I look at it where to be organic, and most men kind of need that. Your local church, your local, religious center, your local YMCA, find people that are on the same page as you and figure out a way to become friends. I actually have started a group. Well, I didn't start the group. My friend AJ Smith started the group. We called it Walkie Talkies, and we switched it to the 5 a.m. Bridge Club. We walk the bridge every day at 5 a.m. And none of these guys I knew before, but through meeting one or two of them, and we saw that we had common interests, we, sat down to try to form a group that we could hold each other accountable, push each other, and, try to help each other in our businesses. So that's what I would say, like start where you're comfortable. If you are a member of a church or you have any type of civic group that you're a part of, find guys in that group that are similar to you in mind and figure out a way to link up with them.
There you go. So there you go. Whether it's cycling, walking a bridge,
Sure.
Whatever. Yeah. Find out what your interests are, which are something to hold you guys together. And even just that, a 5 a.m. morning walk. I mean, just showing up, there's accountability.
That's the hardest part. It's not the walk, man. It's the timing. Lord knows. And for me, it's funny because I've never really been a morning person. So being able to transition and be able to get up now, and now I'm getting up without the alarm at 5 a.m. So it's definitely been a game changer for me.
No, definitely. Yeah. And the accountability thing is big. And I know, the pride of us young men and men. I guess I can't say young men for me, but for other young men,
Okay, then.
it's just asking for help, and help doesn't mean we failed. And even if we did fail, a good help. I mean, heck, even before I had taken this position, I had talked to you, and you had kind of responded back to me in some great words of encouragement when I was like, I'm in the chamber, but I'm thinking about trying to do more with it. And our conversations, you kind of led me on, hey, I see that in you. That's good. I think you should go ahead and do that.
Mhm.
And sometimes your immediate family, your spouse, they're going to always push you and give you that plus. But sometimes you need the reassurance from somebody outside.
Definitely.
And no, that helped me also. But I think these men out here and women out here also, I will. These young men and women out here, they sometimes need that. Even just the slightest bit of encouragement can really help get them that mindset of, it's okay and I can do this.
Sure.
Even some of the previous interviews we had, I know the one with Daisy, some of the stuff that she had touched on and talked was just amazing. And I'm sure her words gave some encouragement to some young men and women that were having some doubts or struggles themselves. But yeah, I think if there's a way to get more people to pull themselves together and really try to help each other, whether it's a business issue or even a personal issue or whatever the case may be, like I said, whether in your church or if you're not religious, maybe it's the gym, maybe that's your religion, wherever it is, to go out there and get that help because you have been quite successful. I mean, it's so funny because, a lot of people, you're definitely not one of those that go out and tout and talk about what you do and show off what you do. But, you've been quite successful. You have quite a few properties. You getting ready to sell some and have others. I'm sure that just means once you sell one, you're going to get ready to purchase a whole bunch more. And, I know that people in that realm, if they reach out to you, there's plenty of side things and downfalls and positive stories that you could probably help people with that can really get them through some of those humps or maybe get them past that fear of even starting.
Sure. I think one of the things is nobody wants to be a burden on anybody else. So it's like if you don't already have success or you don't already have some type of work going on, it's hard to ask somebody to kind of help you get started. Most people, especially men, just have that insecurity of wanting to lean on another man. But I mean, obviously, if you look at successful organizations like the Army, the Fraternal Order, the police, firefighters, this is the whole the foundation of what they do. It's men leaning on other men. You have to look at it where instead of me asking you for a favor, how about maybe I come and find out what's going on and how I can help your life and in turn extract information back. So it's almost like banking. We help each other out by giving each other. Like my mindset, and I've been taught this and try to teach other people, when you meet somebody, figure out a way to add value to their life. And after you figure out a way to add value to their life, then extract the information that you need from them in return. So if it's transactional, don't try to get first, give first, deposit before you make a withdrawal.
That's priceless. That's definitely priceless. And, and really, you just feel better.
Sure.
When you can add value to somebody else, you just feel better. And that is one thing that I am blessed with here at the Chamber. I've had some people that have not started a business yet, but they're preparing to, or they're wanting to in the next 1 to 2 years. And they just come in and they sit down and they go, hey, this is their ideas. Be completely honest, shoot holes in it, and also tell us what we got going good. And how do you feel about that with what you see? And so it's nice. Hopefully I can get more people to come in and do that because I do see the hesitancy because even the people that did come in, sometimes they're like, I've been planning on doing this for a long time and I've never done it, and so they feel they should be further along than where they are. But hopefully we get people that come in, or if they have a business that's starting. I've had a couple businesses that are also newer within the first couple of years of their business that have also been like, I wish I would have reached out sooner. So no, that's my call to everybody out there watching. Please, come to us and see what we can help, especially because if we can't help, I know guys like Marlon and women like Daisy and other people that I might put you their direction because they're going to know somebody or they can help you or, and I think that's big, especially, everyone's worried about the economy and stuff right now, and rightfully so, because prices of things seem to keep going up and whatnot.
Definitely.
So it's getting with those people that are in those realms that know to try to figure out, okay, how can we make it better for ourselves and everybody else?
You touched on an interesting point, Jesse, and it's the part about being vulnerable. If I bring my business plan in front of you and you shoot holes in it. Most people take it as you're shooting holes in me. They align themselves with their business idea, where if you see any flaws or any defects in my business, you must be talking about me personally. But you have to be able to learn to separate yourself from the business. You may have 1,000 ideas for a business, 999 are going to fail. It may be just that one that succeeds. So allow yourself to be able to take criticism openly without challenging the people that are giving you criticism, and learn to be more, I guess, detached from your business, where you're able to take criticism about it without it being something that is going to affect your personal character.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and obviously my whole goal and reason for that is not because I'm trying to shoot people's ideas on, because there's some that come in and it's like, wow, everything is fabulous, A to Z. But I don't know it all. There's times I might shoot a hole down in something you say, and you're like, no, I feel it, and I'm going to do it anyways. And you're going to be able to rub it in my face, say, see, I told you. Then that's good, and that's fine. You got to have your
machismo.
Yeah, your machismo to know what you want to fight for and what you don't, and what you feel is your calling, because no one else can answer that part of it.
Definitely.
But on the other hand, I don't want to see any business fail as a chamber. That's our goal. It doesn't do no good if I help 300 people open a business and they all close within the next 2 years.
Sure.
That's pointless. So my goal, and hopefully everybody else's goal, that when they find that mentors, like you said, don't take those personal. That mentor is going to tell you what's worked and what hasn't worked. Doesn't mean that everything won't work, but they're doing that because they want you to succeed.
Sure.
And especially with a lot of our youth, and with I think the Quad Cities is going to have just a different facelift and change with, what's going on downtown Moline and Rock Island finishing, and now East Moline's doing their thing. And then soon after will be Silvis, then the railway. I mean, I think there's just going to be so much going on here that our youth is going to, like you said, well, you've said that before when we've done a previous interview, they learn quick.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be really exciting over the next 5 to 10 years to see what all happens and how fast they pick up on what they turn the Quad Cities into.
Definitely.
One other thing, though, what do you hope to, on a little change of subject, with the other businesses and the people that do come in here, whether it's a nonprofit or whatnot, what are you hoping to accomplish being a co-host here on here, and learn from these people, or hopefully you may make them think about some things also, because that's the whole goal of this is, you give me some thought, me give you some thought, and hopefully together we'll come up with something great.
100%. My goal, I guess, in this is, first of all, to give as much of a spotlight to their business, to ask them engaging questions that will allow them to express themselves fully. I think sometimes in interviews, if you're not asked the right question, you may have had something on your mind that you wanted to express, but because nobody asked, you didn't say it. So to be able to give them full expression, to be able to deliver what it is that they're doing on their business, but their vision, their own personal life, so that we can have it more holistic. People can feel comfortable in their settings, and more importantly, to learn. There's so many different businesses and so many different strategies that can be used. So for us as hosts to be able to extract information while being able to give something that's entertaining plus education.
Perfect. Yeah, no, and I'm sure they're going to feel that and the energy. And I guess over this next year to 1 to 2 years on the short term, what are you personally trying to accomplish and do?
2 years, buy 50 houses.
Okay.
And buy a couple of businesses.
Okay, perfect.
We live at a time now, most of the baby boomers are aging out. So there are a lot of businesses that have elderly business owners that can't pass it on to their family. So we're looking to start purchasing some of these businesses.
Yeah, and I do see that, and that's some courses that we've looked at doing here in the near future is succession planning for businesses. A lot of people, you build that up, and you just, by the time you retire, you want to step away. You don't want it to just go away to nothing. You really want to hopefully have that legacy of whatever you built continue. Usually, so yeah, hopefully we can help people with some of that stuff and do some courses. And I do know there's some great organizations out here, and even some attorneys too, that kind of help financially get them set up on what you got to do to make sure your paperwork's correct, because that's a big thing. Is a lot of people do it on a handshake, which is okay, but when you're gone, you don't get to say who you had that handshake with, and a lot of people say they had their hand out at the time.
And that's one of the most important things. I think a lot of people don't really know where they should go. So hopefully this can be a comprehensive program that will show people step by step how to advance their business. Some people are great at marketing, but they don't know how to keep their books. Some people are great at sales, but don't really have the production side taken care of. So to be able to lay out a game plan to show a person, each phase of the business, how to take your business to the next level. A lot of people don't really, they're shooting from the hip. We did before I started meeting some people that were more knowledgeable about certain aspects of the business. So just being able to give guidance where there's what does it say, the blind spot in business, because a lot of people just don't know what they don't know.
No, yeah, that's definitely true. Myself included.
There's
some great people that I've reached out for, and there's a few people that I've asked and said, hey, now that we're doing this, kind of give me a hand and help me. I mean, there's been some other great community leaders like Ladrina Wilson.
Sure.
She's I've met with her a couple of times, and hopefully we'll be doing some more stuff again. I mean, just a wealth of knowledge that's out there of people that like her that are more than willing to help people. But like you said, you got to do the work yourself too. You can't just not take advantage of some of the help that people are willing to offer. And like you said, offer something in return, because you have something that you can return. We all do. And I think that's another thing, is a lot of people, as you touched on earlier, think, well, I don't have nothing to offer them. They're all super successful. But there's always something to offer.
100%.
And I think letting people know, because we just had our gala event, and Altice Ramsey had done a poem there, and it ends with "You Matter." And I know that's the name of one of the other poems you did. And I think that's what a lot of these other business owners, whether it's a small business or a large business, that no, you do have your place in this ecosystem of business, and don't be afraid to speak up or reach out and help somebody, or vice versa, ask for help, or kind of feed off each other and make things successful. Because you see it a lot, but it's a small circle of the ones that do. I think the larger scale does it, and I hate reading those stats every year of, most businesses fail, businesses close. When I see a lot of other people that are so willing to help, to go, hey, I can help you with that because you can help me with this, and we'll both eat off of this plate. So yeah, I think, like you said, giving them a good place to express and hopefully be vocal and talk about what might be troubling them or what their future plans are. And I don't mean without. Some people don't want to spill the beans of what they got coming up, and I get that, but there's still conversations that you can have and stuff to kind of get through that. But I really do appreciate you taking time to be on this podcast.
100%.
Because I do think
pleasure.
It brings a different perspective as far as, because you came from the larger city. You didn't just, you come from the Quad Cities, but you learned a lot of your business knowledge at a larger city. So it kind of brings, but yet you're that Quad City home guy, regardless if you like it. Say you're not. Yes, you're a Quad Cityan.
He's Moline till we die.
That's right. So you still have that perspective of still just the local area too. So it hasn't, it just doesn't leave you.
100%. I'm definitely excited about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of business owners to get a spotlight where they probably would not have had before. So definitely glad to be a part of it, and thank you.
Yeah, well, and everybody out there, who knows Marlon or knows me, please, don't be afraid to comment on the videos and say, hey, my business, I want to talk to you guys. Or sure, maybe we'll have you in the seat here in front of us that normally we have somebody in, and we can figure out what we can do and help talk up their business and guide them to be the next Whitey's or something huge around here in the Quad Cities.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely. So, because you want to purchase some businesses, now do you care what kind of businesses you purchase, or are you just looking for something?
Well, I own a construction company, so I would like to kind of like leverage out what it is that I'm doing. We do roofing and siding, interior work. So I'd maybe like to buy a paint company, maybe like to buy a landscaping company, something that would go in the wheelhouse of construction. But after that, no, I'm just looking for numbers. For me, I guess I'm a businessman in that sense, where it doesn't matter what the business is as long as the numbers work. So I'm more interested in the business than I am in, I guess, passionate about one area. So I would like to build out my wheelhouse. Then after that, man, just I'm open to any opportunity that makes sense.
Okay, well, and I do know you got a large family and
Definitely.
I'm sure there's plenty of strong men and strong women in here that are around you to help feed you and make you who you are.
Sure.
But when you think about all that, how do you feel that that's touched you, just your immediate family and some of your even a little bit more distant, but still your family has touched you, even because, like you said, your grandfather owned tons of businesses here, so there's kind of a legacy with all that. People that would in that realm know who he is and what all he's owned. So how much of that has helped guide you, and also maybe even a little bit of pressure sometimes to maintain some of that?
Definitely good. The pressure is there. My grandfather set a benchmark here locally, in my personal opinion. For me, I think it was one of the key lessons where you never hear somebody say things like, you'll never be rich unless you're making money in your sleep. Like, how do you make money in your sleep? If you're working for a company, John Deere, Alcoa, they're great jobs, but how can you become wealthy working at Alcoa? It's going to be kind of tough. So you have to figure out some kind of way to make money in your sleep. So the first question is, how do I make money in my sleep? So it's like a step-by-step thing that my grandfather, my family instilled in me, where you have to be curious about ways that you can be innovative, things that you can do to kind of step outside the box. I'm doing roofing. I'm scared of heights. So it's one of those things for me, like, are you willing to push yourself past your comfort zone and be able to look at things from a different angle? I think a lot of people have a kind of straightforward approach to how they look at business. And with AI and other technologies that are here now, you have to be able to be a little bit more flexible in your approach, because the way that we used to do business is changing. So can you find out new and innovative ways to do it? And my grandfather definitely set the bar for me and my family about different ways to approach a subject.
Well, yeah, and that's, what you said, like he had told you how to make money in your sleep. So many of us aren't privy to even those conversations.
Sure.
As young men and women, you don't hear people talk to you like that coming from where we come from. So that's a blessing and just amazing to be able to remember and retain some of that and have that stick with you, because I know there's some lessons that kind of went out the other on me that I wish I would have held on to.
Sure.
So it's great that you did, and it's great that you had a mentor like that there to, like you said, set the bar high, who did well. And yeah, hopefully, a lot of those, you'll be able to drop a lot of that knowledge and help other people along the way. I do know with this whole rail system coming here, like I said, a lot of opportunity here, I think, in the Quad Cities, with you having a construction business and so forth.
We're excited to see if we can get a slice of that pie.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's hopefully going to be built and hopefully filled up. I know a lot of things for a while there during COVID, a lot of businesses felt like they didn't need brick and mortar. But obviously, I think hopefully here soon with everything coming in, there's a lot of companies and businesses when you go to larger cities that just don't exist here that I think would do quite well here. That hopefully will start filling up those brick and mortar buildings again. Sure. Renovating a lot of the areas and making them nice again. I think there's just so many, and like you said, there's so many different good programs that already are going on out here, and good people that are leading those programs that are just, they're waiting to help who they can. I think that's a really good thing. As far as with your construction business and what we have, like I said, hopefully heading down the pipeline here, I really think you yourself, you guys, you have the opportunity to really grow that business and make it a large company. And when I say large, I mean one of those where you might not have to work that no more.
Sure. That's the dream. That's the goal.
Yeah. And that's a big plus. Granted, I know you're too energized to sit there and do nothing. So you'll just start something different.
Yeah, we could talk our way through it. Yeah.
But at least have part of that where it's just going to make money for you and you can step away and focus on some other things.
Sure.
How important with doing stuff like that is legacy for you?
It's very important. I've always said my favorite superhero was Batman because he was the billionaire philanthropist. And the philanthropist part was where it tuned in for me, because to be able to give, you have to have. So my desire has always been to grow my business extraordinarily big so that I can give back to needy people that are deserving and help people out who just need a little bit of push, the same way we did when we were younger, getting started. So I am definitely excited about giving back my time, my energy, and my resources for others to be able to help them, achieve the same success that you and I have had.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 100%. I mean, legacy to me is, I don't care about my own personal success in that sense. And I mean, people might disagree just because now we're on camera, but
Sure.
this really isn't for us. We don't get paid out of this or anything like that. This is hopefully to highlight other people's things and get them big. Because to me, we're all going to come and go.
100%.
We're all going to come and go. But the legacies that we can leave behind, that we've helped people, that we've done what we could, and hopefully, whether it's they're able to send their kids to school or college or maybe open their own construction business because they learned off of you how to do it, speaks volumes.
Sure.
Because the unselfish man is the great man.
How cool is this? I mean, we're high school buddies. And, in high school as a child, I say when I was a little boy, I would show you that I'm your friend by letting you borrow my toys or wear some of my clothes. But as grown men now, as adults, we can show that we are friends and we're friends with other people by helping them figure out ways to feed their families and do right by their people. So it's a wonderful opportunity. And you and I have been here more or less all of our life. When was the last time that you've seen people that look like us in this type of setting helping each other out? So it's innovative. I'm appreciative to be here because I believe it's a new narrative that we're painting here. And I think that it's going to be something that's much needed.
Right. Well, and, that's where the name of this segment comes from, bridging cultures and building businesses, because we're all only stronger together.
Sure.
And I don't care what the culture is, the cultural background. We all have something from a different perspective that we can help each other with.
Yeah.
And I don't feel that mine is better than yours or hers or his or whoever it may be. I think there's just value in all of us. And that's one thing I love about what we're doing here at the Chamber. And like what we kind of emphasized at our gala event that we had just had is that, as a migration, it takes all of us. You can't migrate by yourself.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see not just what we can do with this interviews and helping people, but I think outside of here, whether it's putting programs together, reaching young people, reaching just anyone who needs the help, I think it's exciting. And I think it's going to be exciting for the Quad Cities and everyone out there who views us to see the perspectives of Marlon and myself. And I'm sure we're going to not always agree. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah. Just let me make sure I win.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it'll just be a great say podcast, I guess, for you guys, or some lessons and whatnot, and also for us that we'll both walk away from here better, stronger, and really able to not just help ourselves, help the community, and help these businesses that we bring on. Do you have anything though that you would like to get off your chest or say to the people out there?
Tune in. I think that there's going to be valuable lessons that we instill here that are going to be able to help you one way or the other. So we are looking forward to you guys being here. I'm glad to be here personally, and I look forward to serving you guys.
Well said. And myself, people have heard me do interviews. I interviewed you once even, and my son. Mm-hmm. But really, it's not just the interview parts I want to bring. I really want to bring value. I don't want to just have somebody sitting here to sit here.
I agree 100% with that sentiment.
I'm hoping to bring value. And if anyone has anything out there that they would like to see us do, or anyone that maybe we don't know of that should be sitting in that chair across from us, sure, comment below. Let us know. We would love to have people there. We'd love to meet new people. And yeah, hopefully everybody gets a good value out of this. But like I said, there's junior high and grade school kids and high school kids.
Sure.
Never thought we'd be sitting here.
Definitely.
Beautiful view. I know it's cold out, but it is a beautiful view and wonderful sunshine out there today. So it's a great day. It's a great day to be breathing. And yeah, like Alt said to everybody, you matter. So this podcast is for you guys. So please have any suggestions, make some comments below. If you want to get up at 4 or 5 a.m., meet Marlon for a walk, shoot him a message below. He'll let you know where they meet.
Sure.
That won't be me.
Oh, come on.
It's hard. We'll see. I'm not a morning person either, but
Me either, man.
maybe.
Life changing though.
Yeah. Well, and this cold, brisk air in the morning.
But it definitely, you ain't got to worry about if you're alive or not. Definitely let you know.
Yeah, definitely. No, but it's a good thing. And I'm glad that you found some people that you can meet with and extract not just energy and knowledge. So, and a friendship.
100%, most importantly.
And hopefully we have that with all you guys here. We can extract everything you can from us. And hopefully you guys get some knowledge. And we're excited to have in a couple weeks here who our next guest will be. And we'll see how this goes. But please keep viewing in, and thank you.
Thank you.